That's good. So let me go over some of the names. Anders. Hey, Anders, it's been a while. Good to see you here. Arlene. Hi, Arlene. Barbara. Brian. Don. Gayleen. Elsa. Gary. Greg. James. Jerry. John. Okay, guys, I think I'll just stop here. We've can see the number of attendees is increasing. Nelly, hey, hi Nelly, Tim and Nelly in the house. All right, guys, very good. So here's what I'll do. I think I'll just pull up my webcam. Is it a good idea? Yeah, maybe. Let's see. And for those who may ask, my Christmas tree is down. So sad. Okay, let's begin on this. I'm just gonna, I don't know why my screen, oh, there you go. I can see myself. Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome for tonight's webinar. It's funny to see the kind of everything align, where you've got programs coming out, you've got sales funnels, you've got teams starting to create momentum, you've got opening of new markets like you could see in Europe with the UK starting to open. We've got a lot of we've got traction right now. Things are happening on the team. I can see people are starting to get very excited by what's going on, and we are. I'm personally, it's been a while since we've joined ARIIX. Well, only 3 years, but still, there's been a progression. We could see line up, and then it was starting to get our story, and then how do we promote and training our team, and so all those things starting to align, and now we're seeing team members starting to break through, bring in some other people on board, and the momentum of the team happening. One thing I need to tell you is that I've always tried to work towards the next event, the next big thing. And when I say event, for example, when ARIIX launched, that was an event. So what I did is I reached out to people, and I was just trying to basically get the word out about what ARIIX is, what it stands for, why it's here, why this business was created. And so it was that event I was promoting to people who knew about the industry and wanted to position themselves at the right time, right place, with a great group of people with a vision that's unique. And so that's what I did at the time. And then what happened next is we heard Robert Allen came on board. So we capitalized on that, did a webinar or a couple webinars, and just focused on that. And then there was a product launch, and then there was a live event, and then there was a country opening, and then every time there was something going on, a new thing, a new product, an event basically. We would capitalize on that and build our business around this. Right now, the UK market is opening. Does that mean you should start to focus on building in the UK and forget about what's going on locally? No. But you can reach out to people. Imagine you reach out to people and you tell them, hey, do you happen to know anyone in the UK? The first thing they're going to ask you is, why? So, well, I'm on this business project here with a couple business partners, and we're actually expanding into the United Kingdom. So obviously some people will ask even more questions. They'll want to learn more, what kind of business, and that's where you can introduce them to your marketing funnel. You can introduce them to some information about the business. That's a way to break the ice. And so when you hear ARIIX opening a new market, you can go back to everyone and ask the same question. Do you know anyone in this market? And so that's what some of our people have done recently. And I've got people on the team who enrolled people in the UK, in Europe is kind of boiling right now. And so we've been taking advantage of that, where we get people who are in those markets who are looking for a new home, a good home, and build their business. So that's what's going on. And I was talking with some of our teammates last week, and we were talking about what do we do this coming week, like talking about tonight. What do we do as far as training? And one thing we mentioned last week was the Cancun trip. And we said that in itself is an event. How do we work towards that event? How do we build, and how do we get our team in movement? Because a lot of you are looking at that. It looks interesting, it looks appealing. Yeah, I'd like to get on that trip, but what specifically do I have to do? And so Jennifer said, hey, why don't we break it down into very precise steps that people need to take so that there's no confusion, and it's not just about a goal in the air. There's actually a methodology that will help you basically be on the trip. So that's what we thought of doing, and actually it goes perfectly with what you're doing right now as far as building your business, because you're bringing customers, you're bringing reps, and so if you bring those people on board, it helps you move towards the qualification. But if you want to precisely describe exactly what your plan of action is to go for Cancun, I'm sure many of you have no clue. Like, okay, I need to make 5,000 base commission or 9,000, but what do I do this week? How many people do I need to bring? And how about the following week? How about in 2 months from now? How does that work? What do I do? What I love about network marketing is that it's the power of duplication. Sometimes it's hard to envision where it's going to go eventually, where, just like myself, I sponsored less than 100 people, all right? So I sponsored a couple, tens of people. It's not huge numbers compared to my traditional business, where I had to personally find, a couple thousand customers in my traditional business. So I was advertising, I was going to the Chamber of Commerce, I was doing all kinds of promotion to get all of those customers. It was costing me a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources to do that. Here in network marketing, I reached out a couple people, and it starts to So how do you build this engine? I'm going to describe to you is actually the same process that you would use to achieve any goal you set for yourself. So if you think, I want to rank advance in my business, okay, let's bring this down to what are the basics steps you need to take to reach that level. All right, and so this is what I'd like to do with you today, and go over those numbers, and then probably open it. So if you have questions, open the line, and we can discuss about this. But that's pretty much what we're going to do here. So let me just go back to the chat box to make sure that we have some answers if you already has questions. So Mustafa says, got a couple of leads from the fat loss funnel. What is the procedure that we should take them through, and what? Okay, so all right, I'll come back to you, Mustafa, as soon as I'm done with this. That's a great question. And Marcus, you're recording, right? Yeah, actually Karen is recording. And okay, can hear you fine, but no video feed. That's not too big of a deal, Mustafa. If you can't see me, that's okay. We'll just focus on the screen here. What I'll do is I'll just share my screen with you. I wrote a little document, and this document, let me just share the screen first, so this way you can see what I'm looking at. Just gonna pull this down. Okay. I think you're able to see my screen, hopefully. Let's see, shows from my screen, yeah. Okay, all right. So basically, I wrote this document. It's based off of training I had many years ago by a a big leader in the industry, and he talked about breaking goals down into steps. Actually, it comes from multiple different leaders. Most people in the industry find a way to break things down, and when you read a lot of books and listen to audios like I did, um, eventually you start to see a pattern of how people do things. And what I've noticed is most of the big leaders, especially those who are some of the best trainers in our industry, are people who are really dissecting things and understanding with numbers how the things work. And if you look at any sport or any real high level type of a career, business, whatever, they usually operate under numbers that they can go over, reference, and see what their averages are, their ratios, statistic of all kinds to help them have a more predictable business. It's funny because, you join network marketing and you're like left all by yourself trying to figure out those numbers where you should have something very clear. And that's what I want to bring today to this call. So if I go over here, so this is a text. What I'll do is I'll make sure I post this document in our Facebook group so you guys can go and reference to. But what I'm talking about is number one, the trip to Cancun. Let's talk about the basic one, and you can double the number, okay, if you want. You know that if you want to qualify for the trip for one ticket, it's $5,000 in base commission that you need to earn between January and June. And if you've already earned money the past year because you've been in the business for longer than, just a month or two, then you need to increase by $5,000 your base commission compared to what you've done the previous 26 weeks. All right, so it's pretty simple. I've got a graph I'm going to show you in a minute, which I uploaded to a Facebook group. And so you can go back and download it if you haven't already, but I'll go over that graph. But here I just want to explain the concept and how to dissect it into very simple terms so you can see the numbers and plug your own numbers. So I'll take, for example, that you didn't have any business before, you're just starting right now. And if you did, take in consideration those numbers and add them to the numbers for now. So let's take, you want to qualify for one person for the trip. We know that you're going to need to do, if you're building 2 lines, you're going to need to do 66,000 of volume total. All right, that means 33,000 in one line, 33,000 in the other line, and that's between January and June 14th. Okay, so if you do that volume, that's going to qualify you for one ticket to Cancun. One of the things you should be doing when you set a goal, always increase the activities or the goal that you want to reach by at least 20%. Why? Because very often you're going to set a goal, and if you just hit for exactly that goal, sometimes you may miss it. But if you hit further, it's like, I remember my brother was doing karate many years ago, and they had this board, this wood board, and they would go through it, and so they were not, one of the things they told them is don't focus on the piece of wood, all right, because you're going to stop right there. What you need to focus on is after the piece of wood, where you want to go. Focus on that. And that's where they put all their energy towards, and that's how you break through that piece of wood. And it's the same thing with anything in life, is set your sight high, and even if you hit lower, you're still within your goals. So that's one thing. So we want to increase it by 20%, which would basically take your points to 80,000 points that you want to create in your business. So if you start from scratch, that's 80,000 points. Let me look at my document that I'm going to share with you after this call. Okay, so basically, we assume, because we don't know how people are going to join the business. Are they going to join with just a basic pack, maybe a clinical pack, maybe a business pack, maybe they're going to come in with an elite pack? There's many ways to come and join the business. So I'm just going to consider in this example that everybody joins with a clinical pack. 250 points. That's it. Not more, not less. On average, that's what it is. So you divide that number, 80,000 points, divided by 250 points, which equals to 320 people joining your business over the course of the next 4 months. Now, 320 people, that doesn't include any auto ship volume that those people will reorder, doesn't include current business you already have, doesn't include, maybe other packages they could purchase, whatever. Okay, so sometimes someone will join with a clinical pack, but they'll purchase a second clinical pack. We're not considering that at all. Okay, so let me just pull this up. I just want to make sure. Okay, I've got, as I see some questions pop up. Can see screen now, can see screen now. Okay, so I think we're good. Okay, so basically, let's assume that your organization doubles every month. All right, and so what you need to do, if it's not currently doubling every month, you need to work with your team. You need to create a plan of action that when they start, you need to get going quick. Okay, so that you're in action very quickly. You're getting people in movement. You're setting goals. You know what to do, and you have a clear plan of action to work with them. So, sorry about that. I just arranged something here. Okay, so the organization doubles every month, and so that's the duplication you're looking for. So if you need 320 new enrollments between February and June, you'll need 190 new enrollments in May, 90 in April, 45 in March, and I said 5 in February because we're, gearing towards the end of February. You don't have many days, but you need to kickstart your business somewhere. So some of you already have team members on board. You may have more than 5, but let's say your goal is to go get 5 people on board. So we'll look at that, and now what we need to do is, how do we break that goal down into how many people do you need to talk to or present to in order to actually get you those 5 on board? Or actually the goal would be to sponsor 16 in the next 4 months. So 16 in the next 4 months, that's 1 person per week into your business. So 1 person per week into your business, it's very doable if you have a clear plan and you run with it. Okay, so you need to do that. You need to make sure to get in motion quick, and you go through the number of people you need to present to in order to get your 16 on board. So let's look at some more numbers. In order to determine what you have to do to enroll 16, you need to determine your conversion ratio. All right, so your conversion ratio is how many people you present to get people, a certain number of people enrolled. Some people have more credibility, more influence. That number will be higher. Some others don't have that, but they can develop skills that make them effective in presenting. Or very often, you're going to use tools that will allow you to present a business so you don't have to do too much of the presentation, and you can rely also on your partners to help you with that. So let's take a number very low, 15%. I've rarely seen that number. It's usually more than that. But I like to set a lower conversion rate and then just beat it. Okay, so you do that. This means that for every 7 you present the information to, 1 should enroll your business. In order to enroll 16, you will need to present to 107 people, or an average of 27 per month. So that's almost about 1 person per day. So some of you are thinking, well, I'm part-time. How do I do this? Every single day you're meeting new people. Or if it's not new people, you're meeting people every single day. You have within your circle of influence people you meet. It could be people you see at the grocery store often. It could be people you work with. It could be family members. It could be Facebook friends. It could be in discussion groups in Facebook. It could be your cell phone contacts. It could be so many different ways. We haven't even tapped into the cold market yet. Just that, it's very doable. If you go into massive action and you know your numbers and you know where you're going, you can do this. So, all right, so we understand these numbers. So The example is we want to do 66,000 between that, and we increase the goal between February and June. We increase the goal to 80,000. Okay, that's the goal you will shoot for, and so number of new reps, we know that's the other 220 we want on the team. New reps volume 250 when they join. Your personal ratio is 15%. Your personal new reps, why did I say 36? It's actually 16. And number of personal contacts is 107. 107 people that you will personally contact to expose the information to get your own 16. So you set the pace, you set the example. All right, new reps needed within the entire organization. Let's say we start with 5 builders in February. In March, together with your 5, your goal will be to accelerate. Of course, initially you're going to put in a lot more effort to get your own people, because the higher the number is initially when you start, the easier it's going to be later, because you have more people duplicating faster. And so if a certain number of people duplicate the next month, that number next month, and then after 4 months, you've got a huge number. Okay, so that's the goal here, to start with as many people as you can initially. So again, that's a plan. That's an example. You can mix and match it the way you want, but that's an example here. So 90 in April, we duplicate that. We duplicate another time with May. And I didn't count June because I calculated you have February and then June 2 weeks. So you have about a month right there. And so you have March, April, May to do these other numbers. So you still have those 2 weeks in June. So the total would be 320 reps, 250 points, 80,000 points of volume. Your result goal for new starts is 16. Using a ratio of 15%, contact 107 new people. So in February, you want to expose to 50. So I told you, you could postpone that, but the faster you do it, the better. How do you do that? Again, there's many different ways to go about connecting with people. But if you just focus on your personal numbers, as soon as you get people on board, you help them focus on their own numbers. Exposure, exposure, exposure. That's all the business is about. Well, not all, I'm sorry. It's a big part of it. Another part is how you do it. But we have the training for that. Okay, so so 15 new contacts, 30 new in March, 20 in April. And why do you have less in May? It's just because obviously the more people you bring in up front, the better the impact it's going to have. At the end, it doesn't have the same impact, because these are just 7 new people out of 180 new that come in May from your initial groups that came in, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. That's the magic of the numbers. So what should you be focusing on? Well, it should be 107 presentations, and you teach duplication. So sometimes people think, you look at this number and you can think, wow, that's a pretty steep number. Me, when I look at this, I say, is that the price I have to pay to put myself in a financial situation that's going to be totally different for the rest of my life, where all I have to do is not stress about the outcomes? Because very often that's what we stress about. We stress about, oh, I haven't reached my goal. I'm not, a chairperson, or I'm not this level, or I haven't made the money I want. What we should be focused on and stress about is making my own presentations, is let the ratio do the job. Present, expose the information, and eventually what's going to happen is the number will take care of themselves. For me, if I have to present to 107 people, it's not a big deal. I mean, yes, it takes effort. Yes, it takes creativity in finding people, but all I have to focus is present, present, present. That's it. So to me, I have this somewhat of a protection, or, I'm not, when I look at these, I don't feel, how can I explain this? I feel secure in this environment because I know that it doesn't matter what I do. If I just focus on presenting it to enough people, I'm going to get people on board. And I've experienced it myself for the past 3 years in RX, and before that in previous MLM business. That's always been the case, is by me focusing on presenting. Sometimes I don't have the best tools. Sometimes I didn't have the best websites or the best presentation myself, but I knew my ratio would always work. The law of averages always work. That's all it is. Focus on the numbers, you will get the results. So before I go to the Excel sheet, I'd just like to see if there's anybody that has questions. And if also, can you commit to that? Like, can you just say, I don't care, no matter what, I'm going to go and focus on these numbers. I'm going to go and expose people. I can do it. Do you feel that's doable? I'd like to get your feedback, guys. So just chat in the chat box. Give me some comments. Hope I didn't lose you. Okay, I got a bunch of people here. Let me check. Okay. Yes, I'm totally ready. Hey, brother. Yeah, actually, you're already started, my friend, today. So things are happening. Jerry, sounds doable. Terrence, it's a lofty goal, but I'm definitely going for it. Teresia, Elsa, and I are on it. That's Michael. Teresia said, yes, it can be achieved. James, I have a plan for this very thing you are talking about. Awesome. Guys, that's all it is. That's the game. It's not more complicated than this. I don't know about you. And my brother is on the webinar right now, and he can attest to that. We would wake up in the morning. It was minus 30 degrees. We would walk out of the door, get in the car. Sometimes it wouldn't start. We would drive to our rental center, and then we would rush to prepare all the machines to be ready for rental. We rented snowmobiles. And then we would wait a couple minutes, and then the customer would come in. And it was just like filling the store, plenty of people coming in. We pass it, the credit cards, the phones ringing, customers outside waiting for us to do their inspection so they can leave with the snowmobiles. We had, people calling because the ads are running and they want to reserve, make reservations. And we've got people to dress up, like give them their suits so they dress up. And we've got people waiting for the map, knowing where to go. And then sometimes we had the employees don't show up. We have to replace them. Or a snowmobile is broken. The customer is coming. We don't have a snowmobile for them. What do we tell them? We have to call another rental center, get it in the pickup truck, go take the snowmobile from somewhere else, bring them over here, spend money on that, risk thousands of dollars every winter just to crossing our fingers it would work, that we would have a good winter. And sometimes you wait and the snow's not there. You're just stressed out. You've got bills to pay, and you work tirelessly till the end of the day. You're dead tired, and next thing you know, tomorrow morning you start all over again. Weekends, kid, were off. I was working. Why? Because the weekends people come up north and they were renting snowmobiles, and we did this for years. And then you're sitting here in front of your computer and you say, all I have to do is talk to someone, send them a little text message and say, hey, could you check this out? Or, hey, I'm working on this project. Think you might, have someone that could be interested in this. Whatever your approach, and we've shared with you many approaches, but you do that to 107 people over the course of the next 4 months. How hard is that? To me, it's almost a joke. All right, just to think of everything I had to do every single day with the stress, with the pressure, with the bills, with everything to make things happen. And all I have to do here is just share the information with enough people and let the ratio work for themselves. That's all it is. Okay, James. Yeah, Mike. It is great to learn numbers. I need to guide my actions. Absolutely. And Mike, that's why we're here. We need to know these things, like what you're going through, so that we can help you create training that will help you in guiding, those actions, like you're saying here. Greg, yes, is very attainable. Terrence, great perspective, sharing your snowmobile business story. Thank you. Yeah, and it's one example. How many of you are in traffic every day? How many people show up to a job every single day that you work hard for years, and very often you end, at the end of the year, how many do you have saved from that job? How much money you have there? And how much do they require you to do every single day, every single week to perform, sometimes out of your comfort zone? But sometimes you do it long enough that it is within your comfort zone. All right. And that's kind of the key here. I remember the first time I walked into a gym, it was pretty intimidating. You walk in there, you don't know where you go for changing, and then you get on this thing and you try to lift dumbbells and you look stupid because you're doing it all the wrong way. And so initially, everything you begin that's new, it's uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable because you've done it enough time. So I wanted to bring those numbers to you, and actually Jennifer wanted to get those numbers up so that you guys have something to work for. And I didn't expose it. How many people did I expose it so far? Okay, if your problem is you didn't expose it to enough people, why? Why? And if you don't know, you need to find the answer. You reach out upline, you find someone that can help you so that you can achieve the numbers. That's all it is. That's all the game is about. And that's what I personally do every single day is I look at my numbers and I say, did I meet my numbers today? That's the key. Okay. Okay, so Brian, is there a more appropriate setting where one could ask you more newbie questions related to a step-by-step process on what we are advised to do to bring someone into the business, or how to link that, or a how-to link that we can both use and share with new reps? Because I have questions like, what do we show them in our presentation after they've seen brand compensation, and it seems it's time to do a presentation. These and other related to how-to questions. Wow, awesome. Well, Brian, I think one of the things we will do is probably plan a webinar or training call with people who have questions, so we can do an open, discussion with you guys and help you out. All right, because I've been there. Okay, and it was not that long ago where I just didn't know what to do, what to send, how to send it, what to say, and all of that. And we can accelerate the results in your business, and so you don't have to go through all of this trial and error. All right, so I'm ready to go, but not sure where to start. Okay, Brian, so we'll definitely work on that. Let's plan to do something about this. Okay, let me share with you guys the other document. Jennifer?
Yeah, Stefan, I was just going to say that sounds like an amazing call that we can do on maybe next Monday night or the following. But I think a lot of people have that question, and it's something we haven't covered yet. And it's not beginner. It's for every new person that joins and everyone that has been in the business, especially given the tools we have now. Where do we direct somebody? How do we get them started? And what we can do, Stefan, is we can do that on a training call and then put a guide together that we can get out to everyone.
Absolutely. Good. Greg Newhouse says, what counts towards base commission? The volume that's in your pay line, you earn 15% of it. That's base commission. All right, so if you have two lines, the one that is the pay line, 15% of that's base commission. Teresa, great idea. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer and Stefan. All right, good. Awesome. Okay, let me just show you the other chart or the actual spreadsheet I created last week for you guys so you can put your numbers. This is going to help every one of you, but also especially those who have been building their business for more than 6 months or more than 2 months. You can put your numbers, and everything where it's in yellow, you need to put to put your own numbers. So in 2014, the last 26 weeks, you put your numbers in. And so if you've earned on week 49 $1,000 in base commission, they have a cost of living increase. So if you look at your report, you'll see that. And anyways, you need to add that number. So I don't remember the exact ratio of increase, but let's say it's $50. So you put that there. Then you've earned a 500, and you have 25, and so on, 1,500. Just going to put quick numbers here. Okay, and then 50 again. So you got 4,200 that you've earned last year in base commission. Well, this year you need to earn at least that 4,200 and add 5,000 here. So right now you just look at the weeks and you put your numbers here since January, and it's going to give you all of your numbers right here. So if you want to earn 1 ticket versus 2 tickets, this is the goal you need to achieve. All right, so 9,200, it's because you already had 4,200, so you need to add 5,000 to this. If you want 2 tickets, it's $13,200 in base commission. So you just put your number, and here you put the week we're in right now, or how many weeks left before the end of the program. So if we're at week 8, then there are 16 weeks before you get to the June event. So that's it. With this, it'll give you exactly how much you need to earn. And if you want to go per week, you say, okay, my goal per week remaining is I need to hit that. $383 per week in base commission, or $550. Okay, if you want 2 tickets. That's it. So it's just a little spreadsheet I created for me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if you have numbers to plug in, you can plug them in and see exactly what your target is. But again, focus on your number. Go present, and let's talk about in the next call what you should present. All kinds of questions you may have. I'd love to help you with this. So Jenny, I know, well, you're back. So is there anything you'd like to share in addition to this? Because I think we have a plan. Now you know what to focus on. And let's build our team. So Jenny, anything? And if there's
No, I think this was awesome. And just looking at everyone's comments. Oh, go ahead, Stefan.
yeah, you can't see the comments?
Okay, I was just saying, hearing everyone's comments, it sounds like they were, everyone got some value out of this, and it can seem like it's challenging or like it's so big, but this is why network marketing is such a beautiful industry, because you get to use leverage and the power of your team, and it can grow faster than any of us can even imagine. I know that we can all be blown away when we see people get excited and take action and how quickly it can grow. And Stefan, you made such a good point saying it's what we do now, right? It's getting started early and getting people into action early, and then letting that grow, and we're not doing it alone. So I loved everything you shared on how to get into Cancun and qualify for that, and that you put together this spreadsheet is amazing. So once again, you're a rock star, and just really appreciate everything you shared tonight.
Jennifer, just before we close, you've built a business very, very fast. Could you, and I know we could do a whole call on this, but just real quick, like, how did you do this? Like, did you talk to lots of people? Did you, like, what was the atmosphere you were in when you were in this momentum?
I think that it's really easy when we think that we don't have to do it ourselves, and realizing, again, like, this business is about service. It's about helping others. So what helped me have success is every single person that I brought in, I didn't just say, great, okay, on to the next. Let me enroll somebody else. Okay, on to the next. Let me enroll somebody else. On to the next. Like, sometimes we get caught in, oh my God, I have to enroll 50,000 people, or even 20 people. But really, what it comes down to is enroll somebody and then give them the tools, show them, help them get their 3, or their 2, or their, our gold is a great target, right? Help them get their 4, and then go on to the next. And then what's going to happen is they're going to see how you treated them, and then they'll treat their team that way. And if you can do that from the beginning, like right from the start, then you end up with a team that's duplicating. So that's what helped me tremendously, Stefan, was when I would bring somebody in, I wouldn't just isolate them and say, go figure it out and bring in the next person. But I would sit down and say, okay, let me help you do what I just did with you. I just brought you in. Okay, let me help you get your first four. Here's what you need to do, right? And whether it's sharing the funnels with somebody face to face, sending a link via Facebook. I built very much so with Warren Market. Actually, it was the only way I built is Warren Market, because everyone knows somebody. So it's not who do I know, it's who does everybody know? Again, because I'm not building alone. So let's say I share with 4 people, and then I help those 4 people share with their 4 people, and then they help those 4 share with 4, and then you have that duplication continuing. And when you have the tools in place and people are using the tools and sharing it, then anyone can have success. So I think that's my biggest number one tip that I can look back on how I build is just look at every new person as somebody who you can help them reach their goals, and then we reach our goals.
Yeah, and it's funny because very often, especially when you're beginning, you're trying to find what's the secret. And I've said it often, and I heard that it's not my own phrase. I heard that so many years ago. I can't remember who said that first, but it's the secret to this business is not to keep it a secret. It's about getting the word out, and that's what it is. And if you share it with enough people, you will get people on board. And when you get them on board, is how do you get them quickly into action? Just sharing the information. So right now we have, guys, the current sales funnels for weight loss, fat loss. So we have men, women. It's a great approach. If you're talking to someone who's not looking to lose weight, what do? Show them the system. The system sells people, because when they look at the system, and what I mean by system, let me just back up a little bit and make sure you understand this part. What I mean is the limitless system. So the marketing funnel, the one for men, the one for women, you can show them those 2 things. So, and then you can walk them into your back office and show them, okay, we have these funnels, and here's what happened when I send this to someone and they go to my website and they opt in, and here's what happened. I receive a notification on my cell phone, or I receive it on my email, and then I can connect back with them. And as they're going through the video or the information, then it's easy to reach back to them, and I know they've been reviewing the details. And there's a second form there. They cannot, tell, hey, yeah, I'm in. It just makes my job easier. So all I have to do is focus on the front end of the funnel, which is drive traffic through it, and they take the tour and go through this. So basically, when you present the business, you show them how the system works, and then they can, when they look at the system, they see that it's simple. I can do that. Like, I can send this link to someone, yeah, and then I get a notification when they check it out, yeah. And if they want to join, they just fill out the form, and I receive that, yeah. So if you wanted to sell the business easily, that's what you do. You just work, show them the system. If you want to bring people onto the products, take them through that funnel. That's how it works.
Definitely. I love that you brought that up, Stefan, because, you show somebody the funnel and you say to them, listen, I know you don't need to lose weight, but who do you know that does? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, whoa, I want to lose weight too, So it's not just for getting people who want to lose weight, like you said, Stefan. It's for sharing with everyone how easy it is to build a business when you have the tools, because 90% of people out there are looking to lose weight, whether it's 5 pounds or 50 pounds. So just saying, hey, let me show you how we build and how this speaks to a lot of people out there, because a lot of people are looking to lose weight, and we have a whole solution for them. So you can share this and make some money.
Yeah. So that's how I find it's the easiest, is just to share the tools, share what we have, and And so people see that, gosh, we're well equipped. I don't need to design any of those things. So yeah, like Marcus says, very simple but very powerful. So that's it. So that's what it is. Now you have the numbers. So you say, okay, I have a funnel. Let me drive traffic to it. And if you want to show people like the business side, you say, okay, I'm going to take 107 people through my business funnel, which means I'm going to show them the systems I have. Hey, I started this business. I'm working online. Let me show you what I'm doing. And you show them your funnels. You say, this is for men, this is for women. There's this video that explains the products, and some people join on the program, and here's what the results we got. All these people, look at these before and after pictures. It's quite amazing. And here's how the system works. And you show them. That's it. That's how you do this. So anyway, so that's like, I could see like Sarah Jane asking that, can you share it now? Well, that's what I want to do here. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information of how to do this quickly. That's how it is. Will there be autoresponder emails with the 3 funnels? There will be, actually, Michael. We haven't got into that yet because we just wanted to focus on creating the funnels first. We're actually working on another one right now on the business side. And so that's why we just wanted to create the funnels, and then we're going to work on the follow-up, and we're going to tweak the funnels to see how we can improve and improve conversions and things like that. So let me just go to the question Mustafa had earlier that I promised to come back here. Mustafa, you said, okay, got a couple of leads from the fat loss funnel. What is the procedure that we should take them through, and what would be the autoresponder to use? Okay, so that, yeah, all right. So I just answered that there's no autoresponder right now. You could create one if you wanted to. So what is the procedure?
Let me add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stefan, well, before you answer about the procedure, I want to add something real quick about autoresponders. Autoresponders enhance follow-up. The keyword there being is enhance. They never do it for you. No matter how great autoresponders are, I recommend people never leave it to an autoresponder. They simply enhance the follow-up. It's always our job as networkers to pick up the phone and call somebody. So we will definitely have autoresponders coming out, but Stefan and I decided getting websites and funnels and captures out for you guys was more important. And even when there are autoresponders, I can't stress that enough. Picking up the phone, sending an email, a text immediately, getting on the line with the person is really the best way to close them. And just keep that in mind. Autoresponders enhance the follow-up. We never wanted to do it for us.
There you go. So guys, what you will see very soon is that we will all be lined up on one direction. We're going to be very clear, because that's how we're going to be able to train you and improve and get better results and all that. So we're gearing towards that. And but I'm pretty happy because now we've got a lot of tools that the team can use. We're getting great momentum. I see here Michael Jewett. I don't know, what time is it for you, Michael? He's in Australia. Do you know when you guys will have the capture page to advertise on Facebook? Yeah, great question. I mean, this is not too long to do. It's just that we've got that other funnel we'd love to launch, because once we have that, we kind of went, circle, and we can come back and do the other stuff, the easy stuff. And so, yeah, let me check with Jenny after this call. We'll see what we have to do and help you with that. All right. So, guys, let's get this ball rolling. Let's get on the Facebook group. We'd love to hear from you in the group. This is not just like a place to post stuff that a news or things like that. It's also a place where we can talk about what you like, and we want to hear your feedback. And so it's important for us, and it helps us craft the right training and things like that. So with that being said, I'd love to see who on the team want to go for Cancun, and you show your commitment to follow through on these 107 exposures. And so, because we'd love to keep you accountable with us so we can work as a team together and make this thing happen. And what's going to happen is, of course, if you commit to it and you're there and you're doing it consistently, what's going to happen is you're going to be people will notify you. You will be, is that the right term? Where you're going to basically stand out and you'll get more attention. Not because we don't want to put attention on you, it's just because when someone is out there building and they're doing stuff, they need more attention because they're out there doing these things and they have the questions all the time. And they say, okay, I've done this, did this, and what should I do next? I have to send information to this person. And so the interaction is more often. So you need to take action. And by that, you're going to get more support. So with this being said, we'd love to hear your feedback in the group. And we wish you. And this week, we've got so many happening. Teams building all over the place. We've got, as I said, the UK market cranking up. We've got, the sales volume in ARIIX is just climbing. And so get part of the game because this is going to be a fun game. And so we want to play it with you guys. So, all right, guys, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us today.